Outside the Box Reviews, Predator Week continues, and after many Predator weeks, we finally get to the chopper. Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we are taking a look at the NECA Predators Wave 14 Chopper Predator from the movie Alien vs. Predator. This is one of those figures I had really been looking forward to. Back when McFarlane did their Alien vs. Predator line, not that I picked up any of those besides the Celtic Predator, but Chopper was one they didn't make. I couldn't have bought this figure in this scale if I'd wanted to. McFarlane instead decided to take elements of Chopper and transpose it over to other figures in the line. I think all of the other Predator figures in the line, but they never created a true Chopper Predator. Now, I almost can't fault them for it. Chopper was in the movie for such a short amount of time, but they made an Ancient Predator instead, which is in the movie even less time, so who's really going with the obscure character here? Let's jump in and take a closer look. Chopper comes with a lot of the same accessories the other Predators in this line did. We get the Shuriken with the little tannish, goldish copper pieces in the middle here. Same sculpt as the other one, but still a really nice piece. Honestly, this could be one of the other ones. They all look exactly the same. He also comes with a ceremonial dagger, so we have the nice silver serrated blade with the slot down the middle. Coppery black details up here at the handle with the claw on top. Fits into the sheath on his leg, just like all the other ones, exact same piece. And another piece he shares with Scar Predator. We have the retracted combi stick, same detail here once again, but very nice. I like the copper color. I like the ornamental detailing in it. However, unlike Scar, Chopper cannot carry this weapon. He has a clip on his back, but it's a different size than the other two Predators. I guess you probably could get this on his back, but we need that clip for something else. Because the clip is designed to hold the two skull spike pieces that Chopper comes with. These are identical, so we'll just look at one here. It's a pretty interesting sculpt. It's a skull. It looks humanoid, but it might not be, seeing as these are aliens and they've gone to other planets, I'm sure. But really cool look. A lot of great weathering on it. It's kind of a dull tan color with some darker brown shading in there. He has this kind of strap going around the side of his face, and these little pieces hanging off the side that are soft rubber. They have some jewels in there. They almost look like Predator dreadlocks or something. Or you look at this and think, wow, so this is what happens to Jack Sparrow after all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. A predator kills him and puts his head on a pike. The pike itself looks pretty nice. It's very dark brown, has some kind of wrappings around it, different thicknesses throughout it, making it look very organic, very natural. I like the way they did this, and it does end with a pretty sharp spike down here at the bottom. To honestly preview some overall thoughts I have with Chopper that I didn't have with any of the other Predators in this line, I kind of feel like he needed a little bit of directions to come with him, because you're kind of left to figure out some stuff on your own that takes a couple minutes of messing with him to really understand what's going on. So the two skulls fit on the Chopper's back here in two separate locations. First piece is this little tray here down the side of his plasma caster. So you just take the skull and peg it right in there. It's a fairly solid fit. It actually holds decently in there. And the second one, as I mentioned before, we do have a C-clip here, but it's smaller than the one used for Scar for his combi stick. That's so it will hold on to the stick here for this Predator skull, though you can use it on one of the narrow sections of the combi stick if you really want. But that one will clip right on there, and that C-clip doesn't hold nearly as tight as the plasma caster piece, so it can be a little difficult to get this figure properly displayed. What I've kind of realized is if you want the skulls on there, you almost need to arrange the character how you want him and then apply the skulls to him last, or else they're gonna fall off about 8,000 times while you're trying to pose the character. Taking a look at the rest of the sculpt here, Chopper's face is unique. Still has that very pounded metal look in his armor. Very bright silver sections with very dark sections in between. Nice gunmetal in there. He has that kind of gray pearlescent visor that we saw on Celtic. He does have some nice ornamentation up here in the crest of his mask. The little things on the side that I also think look like cat whiskers, which I also kind of laugh at because he's trying to be a drummer for Kiss or something. Laser targeter looks really nice up there, well painted with the red. Do of course have the dreadlocks as was normal. Same kind of dreadlocks we got with the other Predators here. Nice rubberized pieces. And the cable here coming off the side of the mask. Now, since I'm recording this after I've already had the Celtic review out for a little while, I've heard a lot of you guys telling me that these plug into the plasma caster. But honestly, I think my method of tucking them back behind the dreadlocks is the better option. We take a look at the plasma caster. This is the front or the top section. We have these two little holes here, and then you can actually plug the ends of this cable in there. And you see, I'm not even going to do it because it's a pain in the butt. Then when you get this back on here, they're probably going to fall off if you've attached them already. Or if you're attaching the backpack first, then plugging in the cables, you're never going to reach them. So this is just a ridiculous, way too much amount of work. I'm going to tuck the cables under the dreadlocks and be very happy about it. Speaking of the plasma caster, same detail we got on the other two. Really nice looking backpack, great pounded metal look, great paint apps. I really dig it. The gun itself, as with the others, is on a track so you could slide it up. Has a hinge at the base there, a hinge in the middle, and then a swivel up at the top. It also will disconnect here at this upper swivel. So if you want to have Chopper as he was before he got the plasma caster, you're very able to do that. Chopper does have the tiniest plasma caster of the bunch. Very small, but still a lot of great detail and very nice shiny silver paint. Looking further down the body, we do have the neck rings there and the high collar upper armor that we've seen on all three of these Predators so far. We have his trophy skull necklace with a bunch of little skulls in there. As I mentioned with the other ones, a really great job, I think, painting the netting on these Predators. It's very clean. The overall transition of the flesh tones looks really good. I just overall just dig the detail they've put into the paint on these Predators overall. Coming over to the shoulders, we do have the rubberized upper arm armor, so that will get out of your way. We do have the sculpted and painted arm underneath. With the bicep armor here, looking great. We have the tie, which is hard sculpted onto the body. I guess you could probably pull armor pieces off if you really were so inclined, but you're gonna have a screwed up sculpt underneath, so why would you? And I still love that they include the detail of having the little tie piece over there. I just think that's great. Chopper's gauntlets are unique here. They look very similar up at the top. Same kind of sculpting we've gotten before. Chopper comes with these super retracted blades. So Celtic comes with the medium and Scar comes with the long. So between all three, you can mix and match however you'd like. He also comes with normal fists, which none of the other Predators have. He has fists on both sides here. And then we have this added on piece at the bottom for his extra blade, which looks really cool. This is another area where I would have kind of liked some instructions because you just get 3 sets of blades in his packaging. And I didn't realize for a little while that he's supposed to have these short blades up here in his gauntlet and that these lower blades are interchangeable. So here we have this version here, which is actually the retracted version, and you could pop that out for the fully extended version, which is cool. I also realized that if you swap out the blades up here on Chopper, you really can only go with the medium from Celtic. The long ones from Scar will actually run into this blade down here, so you really don't want to do that. But the easy way to tell which blades go where, I realized after way too much looking, the base, the peg here on these is much thicker, and then when you have these small tiny blades up here, you can see it's a much smaller bit made to go into the upper gauntlet. Over on the other side, we have the same lower blade, and we also have that computer here on his wrist. Same exact one that we got on Scar, but I still absolutely love that this is included. Just makes me so happy that we finally have a functional wrist computer on these Predators. Going down to Chopper's belt, we of course have some slightly different detail than we did on the other Predators. Chopper does not have any of the upper leg armor here, so we get a lot more open space on his belt. So we got 2 shurikens hanging out, and then enough pouches so he could be in a 90s Marvel comic book. On the back here, we do get the spine protector that all the other ones had as well. The armored butt flap here, the rubberized kind of diaper-ish lower torso, and then another longer stripe of armor going down the front. Even has a little belt buckle, which is kind of cool. The legs continue on a lot of the same paint detail. Go from a pretty dark black to a lighter brown to this bright yellow here in the front. Netting all looks really good. Then we have the big beefy lower leg guards, same pounded metal look that I really enjoy. You have the sheath here on the side for holding the ceremonial dagger, and then the feet also look fantastic. Big clawed toes, claws sticking out the sides, all the good detail you'd want in a Predator like this. For articulation, same as the other two. Chopper can look up a little bit, hindered by the dreads and the overall bulkiness of the figure. You look down a little bit, rotate his head side to side. Of course, the dreadlocks are going to be an issue when you have the plasma caster on, so you need to be careful not to knock it off and get super frustrated while trying to pose him around. You also can tilt the head side to side, pin socket shoulders so they will go forward, back, as well as out to the side. Swivel at the upper arm. We have a double jointed elbow, bends in really nicely. We have a ball joint there at the wrist, as well as a swivel at the gauntlet here, which is fantastic. If you have it bent in all the way, you're going to run into some limitations of it, but if you have it extended, you get a good range of motion there. Upper torso ball joint, so you can go forward, back, side to side, as well as tilt. Same thing going on with the ball joint here at the waist. You can go side to side, forward and back, tilt a little bit. Hindered because of the spine piece, but overall works pretty well. Legs will kick pretty pretty far forward. Can't go back quite as far because of the way this diaper here is constructed. Even though it is rubberized, it's just not as loose as some of the other Predator ones. You also kick out to the side pretty far, swivel at the upper leg, double jointed knee, and I realized that lower part of the joint is super tight, so I wasn't actually utilizing it in my previous reviews, so he will bend his leg up really damn far. Then he has a ball joint here at the ankle with a fantastic range of motion. And the shin part here is actually rubberized, so it actually lets you kind of get deeper stances out of it, which I think is great. And overall, I think Chopper may be my least favorite of these three, but that's not saying I don't like him. I just like him a little bit less than the other two. I think it just has to do with the fact that he has a lot more extra stuff, and it's particularly the skulls on his backpack that just drive me nuts because they just want to fall off when I try to pose him. But it doesn't stop this figure from getting a high recommend. I think he's really well done. I mean, I like the other two, and he shares a lot of the same parts, so if I didn't complain about that, can't really complain about this. I like the idea that all three Predators together have interchangeable parts, and I know as we get more kind of ancillary characters that might share some pieces, we can really mix and match and have a little more fun with it. We already know Wave 15 is going to be another AVP wave. We get two of the other Predators from the movie. I think one's a Temple Guard, and one might be from another flashback. I don't really remember exactly where they fit in the film. And then we also get the Masked Scar Predator. But overall, looking at this line, I know we are going to get some other AVP in the future. I think Wave 16 might be getting something else, maybe more Kenner or something like that, but I know we will be back getting more AVP stuff eventually. I'm really hoping we get that Ancient/Elder or whatever you want to call it. And just because I feel like it's inevitable, if we do get a Cloaked Scar Predator, because I feel like it would be Scar if we got any of them, I'm really hoping NECA goes and gives us a bloody version of the extended blades. I think that would be really cool to have the translucent blades with blood on them, just like the scene from the Antarctic whaling station. Now I'm going to try to follow this video up with a figure wars of the two Celtic Predators, but my McFarlane Celtic Predator is in really rough shape. So I can't say with any confidence that that's going to be out anytime super soon. So we're going to call this Predator Week over, and we're going to move on to some more cool stuff coming up here in the near future. In the meantime, follow me on Instagram, username Outside the Box Reviews. Also check me out on Facebook, link below. And until next time, this has been the Outside the Box Reviews. Stay tuned for more to come.